Okay, so we have our lab set up here, and this is for the enzyme actions, and we have 3 test tubes. Starting from the left, this is test tube 1, the middle is test tube 2, and the right hand side is test tube 3. Okay, and you can see that the channels on the veneer probe are measuring the temperature of the hydrogen peroxide. And right now, all of them are measuring, tube 1 is 24.9, tube 2 is 24.9, and tube 3 is 24.6. Okay, so that's our starting temperatures for each of those. So you need to record those as your starting temperature. Next, we're going to add the liver to each of them and record for 5 minutes. At every 30 seconds, you need to record the temperature that is indicated on the veneer probe. So again, channel 1 is tube 1, channel 2 is tube 2, and channel 3 is tube 3. So now we're going to add the liver to each of the test tubes. Okay, and we're going to take the probe out first, and then we're going to add our piece of liver in there. Oops, a little slimy. All right, we're going to add that in there, and down it goes. Okay, and then we're going to insert our probe back in there. All right. Second piece goes in. All right, there's our probe. And our last piece in here. And push that down a little bit and put our probe in there. Okay, so our 5 minutes starts now. I want you to observe the test tubes as they are reacting. Remember what we recalled about what indicates a reaction. Okay? A reaction causes a number of different things. It can cause heat change, it can cause bubbling, exchange of gases, it can cause a color change. And so right now we're looking to see what signs of a reaction do we have from these 3 test tubes at the moment. If you notice test tube 2, and I'll try to get up a little bit higher on this for you, test tube 2 is bubbling so much that it's going over the top of the beak of the test tube at the moment. Okay. All right, we just passed our 1 minute mark. So again, as you watch the video, watch the time down in the bottom and make sure you capture the temperature every 30 seconds. Okay, so I'll try to give you a mark on the next 30 seconds. And mark 30 seconds. And mark, take your reading. And mark again. Take your next reading. Mark. Mark. Notice our bubbling has slowed down considerably in the last few marks, so we got about 3 more readings to do, 2 more readings. And Mark. And Mark, 1 more reading left. Take note of what's happened. Bubbling has decreased. Don't see any real change in temperature over the last minute or so. And Mark, that's our last reading. Okay, so you can see that our end result is tube 1 at 28.2, tube 2 at 24.2, 34.2, and tube 3 at 29.3. Okay, now why did we do 3 tubes? Could we have stood with just 1 tube? But if we'd done 1 tube and it was the high temperature, we might have had an outlier. If we did 2 temperatures and they were at opposite ends, we would have had an average that might have been not too high or too low. So this way we have 3 measurements. We're going to take the average of these 3 measurements, and this is for the liver. So in your table, you're going to have tubes 1, 2, and 3 measured for 30 seconds over 5 minutes, and then you're going to average those temperatures. All right, next we're going to set up for the carrot. So we're going to take a short break and set that up, and we'll be back.